not going to have to hear. I got a call about 10 minutes ago, and Jesse said, look, you know, I know over the years you and Dad have gotten very close, so would you mind getting up and saying a few words about what's his face? I said, why not? I saw this Gradyism, and it reminded me of something that happened a long time ago. I was his third patient. He was right out of school. Over the years, he's become, I never had a brother, and he's the closest thing I've ever had to a brother. He has seen me through some very high highs and some very low lows. And during one of those really tough times, I was pouring my heart out to him. And he was looking deep into my eyes, like he was seeing into my very soul. You know, and when I finished, he looked and he said, Melvin, I want you to remember these words, no matter how tough things get. He says, if at first you don't succeed, suck and suck till you do succeed. I don't have a clue what that meant, but I believe in this man, and I try to live my daily life by those words. And I know there'd be something reward from that. As I said, I was his third patient. I did not believe in chiropractic. I was trained in school not to believe. Okay? So I had gotten to the point where I was so bad, my preacher said, I wish you'd go see this guy. I said, well, they're crazy. They're lunatics. They don't mess me up. He said, go. And I was at the point where I was ready to see a witch doctor. So I went down to see him. Dr. Grovenstein actually got me first. Okay? And I was supposed to go to Dr. Carter because my preacher was his patient and they go by referral. So here I go in and I'm really dead set against chiropractic. I studied pharmacy. I knew better. You take a pill. It doesn't matter what's wrong. You take the dog on a pill. So I go back, Dr. Rosenstein says, what's your problem? And I said, everything hurts except this eyelash right here. He says, fine. So he grabs my head, you know, runs out the door, down the hall, twice around the waiting room, up the other side of the building. He drops me off at a CA. He says, see what you can do for this guy. Next! I was pretty convinced. I didn't want to deal with it. So they told me there was a problem and it was supposed to be him. I went back. And all of the surgery I was slated to have never happened. The Navy told me eventually I would never walk without assistance. And I danced now. I'm loving every minute of it. Okay? So how do I repay you? Well, I'm laying on my face in his office one afternoon, and it comes out in conversation. He said, oh, you know, my dad is king of the air traffic controllers. And I said, well, how cool is that? I said, do you like to fly? He said, I'd love to, but I'll never get a chance. I said, well, I'm going to the airport this afternoon. I'm going to go up and shoot down some clouds and bore some holes in the sky. You want to go? I said, yeah, sure. So I hang around. He sees the other patients. We go out to the airport. We hop in the airplane. We take off. I let him fly around. We go out to his house in St. Augustine and all. Comes time to land. Do a couple of touch and goes, and I'm ready to land. They put this big old fast twin engine behind me, so I got to get on the ground. Boom, we go in, I step on the brake, there's nothing. Nothing. Right to the floor. You know? In fact, it made that sound. So I looked over at him, and I didn't fill in all the blanks. You know, I just let him know. I said, you see those blue lights along the end of the runway? I said, we're going to run off between that second one and that third one. Well, I knew it was hard packed, it was grass. The airplane that I owned was built in 1945. They didn't have paved runways. So I'm sitting there ready, and he puts his hands up. We go off, it slows down, I turn around, come later. Nobody ever said a word. I don't even think the tower noticed. So we get back. I found out a couple of years later how he almost destroyed his linens that afternoon. He thought we were going to go over on our nose. But I've never seen such a stoic face in my life. He was just like that. So to get me back, years later, we're down in my place at the lake, and we go over to a